Caroline Dubois. We just watched you training, had a session, and you're all firing on all cylinders now ahead of your next fight. How's it all been going, this one?
It's been going great. Training camp has been really good. Been getting in the rounds, sparring loads of rounds, and with good people, and that's the most important thing. And as you've seen, just finished my training now, and yeah, it's great when you can see the finish line. I can see it now. Next week, Saturday, and it's in sights.
Magali Rodriguez is the opponent. It's like every fight, it's just someone, the record's a bit better, someone who's going to give you a bit more resistance. What do you know about Magali?
Magali's a very experienced veteran. She's had a good few fights. She's fought Estelle Mosley. She's been in with world champions, and she's challenged the best. She's a tough woman, and even in her last fight, I think she's coming off a victory. I think she's coming off 2 victories, and yeah, I expect her to give me a good challenge.
And this, I believe I'm right in saying, this is the first time you'll have to make championship weight, 9 stone 9, because you've kind of been a couple of pounds over, but championship weight time now.
Yeah, I think my last one was half a pound over, so like 0.5 or something. But there's been no need for me to make like the 135 limit, so I haven't put pressure on myself to do it, and now I can make it.
How's it been?
It's good. Obviously, it's extra half a pound, extra half a kilo, so it's nothing really.
And tell us about the lightweight division, how you see it at the moment. Obviously, Katie Taylor's got the belts, we know that. But she's boxing at one division higher, at 140, yeah, of course, against Chantelle Cameron in the rematch. So the belts are kind of tied up. Is it a frustrating position to be in at this point?
It's very frustrating. Obviously, I see myself as pushing on and being a world champion one day. And when you have someone who's just holding the belts, it's frustrating to know that you have to wait for them. It's annoying waiting around, And but you just got to crack on. I've got my IBO world title to seek after and go and grab. So I'm just going to focus on cleaning up while I can.
And obviously, still very early in your career, and not that many fights. So I guess the hard one for you, it's hard for you to put pressure on, or to try and begin to put pressure on a sanctioning body in your position. You just kind of have to let it happen and do your business in the ring.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Kate Taylor, she's been the queen, a legend of the sport, and I think a lot of the organisations, they'll be giving her a lot of leeway and giving her as much opportunities as she needs to get herself together and figure out what she wants to do. So hopefully after the next fight, she can decide whether she's fighting at 140, 135, if she's going to vacate a belt. Hopefully she can decide what she's doing and allow other young kids, young champions, future champions coming through to have their shot, their chance, and yeah.
And September 30th is the date. So what's the plan, say, if you try and map out the next 6-12 months and all goes well against Rodriguez? What's the plan? Like, what are you hoping? How do you picture it?
Obviously go and win next week, win in great fashion, make a statement, and really put my foot down as someone who's not just a prospect, but a challenger and a real contender. So win that one. Hopefully go off, maybe have an interim, so that will put in pressure on one of the belts for Katie to vacate. Hopefully, I don't know what happens. Obviously, Chantelle Cameron, the rematch, what happens there. That really just depends on that, and if I can get a belt, that'd be great. By the end of it.
So let's just pause on that Katie Taylor Chantelle Cameron fight. Obviously, we all saw the first fight, Cameron winning reasonably comfortably on points. What do you think happens in the rematch?
Yeah, I thought Chantelle won 7-3 maybe, and maybe even 8-2, debatable. But I thought she won it relatively easy. It'll be interesting to see what Kate does and turns up. I think she'll try to be more active, more sharp, more switched on. You've seen in the first few rounds she seemed a little bit surprised by the aggression and just not really on it in the first few rounds. So I think she'll be as sharp and switched on. I think it'll be more of a difficult fight, but I'm expecting another Chantelle Cameron win, but we'll see.
Mikaela Mayer as well has obviously been a target for you, and if the belts are tied up in that sense and Katie's doing what she's doing, is that still the target? Do you think that's your real route into the sort of the big time still?
I'm not really sure. Obviously she's moving up to 147 and she's chasing Natasha, she's chasing the belts at the heavyweights, and I think she's looking at Sandy Ryan, even she's been saying their name, she's been looking at the heavier girls, so I respect that. Let her do her thing. Like I say, you never know what's going to happen. I think if Katie Taylor, Chantelle Cameron, and even Amanda Serrano, they've got a rematch, so maybe she'll want to chase that. So it depends. If it's taking too long and it's just, I can't be sitting around just waiting for people. So I'll probably, who knows, maybe move up 140, 147, who knows. You never know. Female boxing, you see girls jump up crazy weights, and you're like, that won't happen in the men, but it happens with the women. So I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, do you see yourself multi-weight world champion? Is that what you're picturing?
100%. I see myself, pushing on maybe even to 154. I think that would be the heaviest I go. But I see myself definitely being a multi-weight world champion.
Just as well, just one. Obviously, when we used to come down and see you, Daniel would be here, your brother, and he'd be, you'd be training together and stuff. It's been a while now since you sort of he hasn't been here, and you've kind of been on your own training. How's it been, kind of out on your own 2 feet? Has it been difficult? Have you sort of taken to it?
No, it's been fine. Even though I'm not training with Daniel or training with, like that. I still have, my brothers and my sisters, so it's still the same, same but different. I'm coming down there, the goal is still the same, the vision is still the same. I train just as hard, I don't need someone to be on my back watching me to see if I train hard. I train hard with or without anyone there, so it's not too much different. It was strange a bit for the first few weeks, but I got used to it pretty quick.
On the subject of Daniel, was it a low blow?
Was it a low blow? I don't think it was a low blow. I don't think so. But I also think at the end of the day, the referee's there to make the call, and sometimes his decisions aren't always right. We see with the Rolly Romero, we see with other fights. I can think of a few. Sometimes the decision is a bit rushed, a bit drastic. Sometimes swayed by the crowd, swayed by the moment. I think that was Usyk's moment, and I think everyone was there for Usyk. So I think it was Daniel's job to go out there, not look for favours from the referee, from the judges, from no one. Go out there, rip up the script and change his life. He couldn't do that, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is, You got to roll with the punches, and here's what it is.
Is a young guy still a world heavyweight champion potential, do you think?
100%. I think Usyk, Tyson Fury, AJ, these are all the guys that are here now, they're the champions now. But who knows what will happen in 5 years, but I think Daniel will still be here in 5 years, so he's still got a shot.